Well, hello, Cheryl. We're back. It seems like we haven't spoken in like a month.
That might be accurate. I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, what is time?
You were away, I was away, we're back.
Yep.
What's going on with your NFTs? You have so many out there. You getting any action, any traction?
Super interesting stuff going on. For those of you who don't know, this past week was NFT NYC, which is a whole week of conferences and talks and NFT stuff happening. And I was lucky enough to be able to attend a couple women networking events in women inside the NFT space and got really great advice and some cool stuff that I'm going to share with you. So I've got some movement just kind of inspirational wise and strategy wise. And in terms of my NFTs that are out there, couple more views on a bunch of the different platforms. I did end up selling two of them, both on the Pianity marketplace through auctions. Again, that's the site that you have to get your NFT into a waitlist, and then
Right.
the community votes to see who they want. So the first one I
Did you
did
make did you
pretty
make the big bucks? The big
the
NFT
big
bucks?
$110.
110 for
110.
both? For
Yeah,
both?
that's where we're hanging out. 110. And I pushed the first one inside of Discord. And then I did let my fan base know about all my NFTs with the caveat of if you don't know what this is, ignore. I'll see you in the next email. And if you happen to be in this space, just want to let you know. And if you're looking to, add to your collection, I have these NFTs available. These are the platforms, the marketplaces in which I am hosting these.
So
And
so
that
what did your fan base say? What was their
not
reaction?
much. I don't think my fan base is the crypto bro audience, which is probably a good thing. Um, which I could get into why I think that's a good thing. And the people that did buy the two NFTs were not people that I think are on my fan list. So I think that they were from inside of the already established NFT collector community.
Right.
Yeah.
So interesting. So you sold two NFTs on Pianity. Now, if they get resold, you will get a percentage, right?
I both of them are 10%, and one of the people that bought it already has put it for sale. So that, I mean, that's cool. That's
Oh, what
that's
a
kind of what you
hoe.
want, right?
He's buying and selling. He's like a NFT flipper.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead, flip it. I just keep making money off of the flip. Like, if one is
Sure.
someone's like holding on to it to see, she's gonna win that Grammy. Like, we're gonna hold on to that. And if someone
That's
else is
it.
flipping it, cool. Like,
Grammy's coming, Cheryl. The
oh yeah,
Grammy's coming.
I've won the Grammy already. It's just in the future. So that's the frequency I got to hang out into. So thank you. But yeah, so that's interesting. But yes, I will continue to make money. That's the deal that they have there. And most of the other marketplaces, you can set what that percentage is, the resale percentage that the original artist gets.
So
So
Cheryl, on the general OpenSea marketplace, like I bid on your NFT. Did you accept my bid?
it ran out before I could accept it. We were kind of using it as like let's get some interest. So
I,
I kind of forgot about it.
I want to
Sorry.
own an original Cheryl B. Engelhardt.
You'll have to go back and bid again,
Oh
and I
my
promise
God. You're
I will
killing
take
me,
your money.
Cheryl.
I will take your money.
Okay. All right. So we talked about your fan base. You still have some NFTs up there
Yeah,
floating around the
Rarible.
Web3, right?
Yeah, Rarible, Mint, Songs, on OpenSea. What I got was that it really does make sense to either find a platform that's super niched, or I keep saying platform. When I say platform, I am meaning marketplace.
Mhm.
Um, and they may be interchangeable. I don't know. But Pianity, obviously, if I had 10 or 20 up there and they all, you can only have one at a time in the waitlist of your own collection. But if I just had sort of always one in the waitlist and one being bought, like that could be some, you know, 50, $100 here and there. I'm interested in what I've learned this week in these conversations of people that have been in this space and have gone from zero fans, people in their community, to really having created a community around what they are minting, is that you're not going to probably, if you're already an artist, you're probably not going to find your NFT audience in your current fan base. It's just a different product. So
Right.
you're going to different consumers
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
So one artist, Amber, what did I say her name was? She was amazing. Vitoli, artist, big fan base, a painter, and threw out NFTs, and people were like, "What are you talking about?" Like people that were spending tons of money and buying her art. So she went on to Twitter Spaces. Twitter Spaces and Discord seem to be the two platforms
Hmm.
where community building of already established NFT collectors is hanging out. Twitter Spaces is essentially like Clubhouse. It's audio only. It's on the bottom of the app, the little microphone. You can join rooms as a listener. You can also, people that are hosts can share links. So there's that extra like clickability that's happening in Twitter Spaces right now. And you can search NFT music, and see what talks are going on or that are scheduled. And people, it sounds like people, artists, creators, NFT creators have created communities around their NFTs from scratch on Twitter Spaces. So I have been still active in Discord. I think that is why my first Piano T NFT sold, was because I was so active.
Mhm.
The second one I didn't do any promotion for, and it got off the wait list really quickly and got sold in a day. And they told me about it and I kind of just forgot to promote it, and it still happened. So I think that there is a little bit of traction that picks up once you get going there. So I want to lean into that too.
Right. Right. Okay. So what's your thinking? What are you gonna mint any more NFTs, or your album is minted out and you're just gonna ride and see if anybody buys it?
I think that my next step is to create a collection on one of these platforms. And I think I'm going to stick with OpenSea being the biggest. And around that, um, I have a couple tracks left that I haven't minted that I was sort of saving for where do I want to land as my home. And so I'll probably mint those in a couple different ways. I also want to try having the like 1,000 copies of one, instead of the we've been doing the sort of one-on-one,
Yeah.
um, and also really diving into finding and creating a community, going on to these talks, maybe starting to tell my story, um, to see if that resonates with people, to see if the music resonates. I think I have a leg up in that the music is primarily electronic, which seems to be a little bit more um, of the genre. But I know that hip hop is also really big. I haven't seen a ton of singer songwriter stuff yet. That doesn't mean that's not out there. It's just sort of where I've been. And like you've said many times before, this is the wild, wild west. So I feel like anything is possible.
Yeah.
The other thing I did get this week is that even though it feels like it might be this established thing already, it is still very, very, very early, and it is growing very quickly. So if you are called to this in any way or curious, it is the time to get into it and to find
So
that community.
the interesting thing is, obviously, since we've started these videos a couple months ago, there's been a massive crypto crash, and with it, NFT values have crashed as well.
Yeah.
And I'm curious what your opinion is of that.
Yeah. Not being a financial advisor, my take on a bear market is it's not a problem if you're in it for the long haul. We've seen, history has shown us that recovery is possible and likely. So it's a time to buy. It's a time to learn, and I don't think it's a time to stress and get out. If you had gotten in, um, that's where the loss will come into. But if you're just sort of sitting and holding and or coming in and learning and taking advantage of the crash, I don't think it's a crash, from what I've heard this week, just listening to a bunch of different panels and people that know this stuff. It's not a crash in the sense that, oh, now no one's interested anymore, and now that trend is over. I don't think it's that. I do think it's more financial. But that's
Yeah.
just my very novice opinion of extrapolating a few things that I've heard.
Yeah, and I'm not going to comment on the crypto crash. I generally agree. It's dropped so much. If you're interested in buying, whatever. I'm
Yeah,
not a financial advisor. I'm not a tax advisor. I'm
exactly.
not a lawyer. I'm not giving any advice. But I think for NFTs, the fact that the NFT bubble has burst on the higher end, whether it's, Bored Ape Yacht Club or some of the other like big dollar NFTs is actually a good thing. I think ultimately we're seeing two things, right? I think we're seeing some of the ridiculous valuations come down a little bit, though they're still pretty ridiculous for what you're getting.
Yep.
But I think that the other piece is, and I totally lost my train of thought at this point in time. But I think that
It's good
as
for
but
indies and people that are not on the crazy
I,
high valuation for a crash to kind of like bring it back down to reality and actually get in with normal people that
and
are exploring.
yes, and as I'm kind of following this space, it already seems like the music NFT space is already starting to move away from, well, here's just a GIF, and pay me for this one digital copy of a GIF or digital original of the GIF, right? And that there's more movement towards, okay, where else, with fractional royalty shares or rights or
Yeah.
unique recording, where else is there like more value added applications, let's call it that, for an NFT that are higher value to a fan, a super fan, an investor at some point in time.
Yeah.
So I think the space continues to evolve
Yeah.
very
And I
quickly.
think if you can establish that community and have conversations and host your own Twitter spaces and see what people want, you can do that and respond to that. And something that I mean, I listen to a lot of artists, like fine artists, fine artists talk about their art and how they went from selling in the real world to online digital art to, from web 2 to web 3, and web 3 being the NFT world. And sometimes people being like, oh, you need to mint this or make editions of that, and just really trusting like, okay, that piece isn't ready yet. Trusting your gut, but also listening and knowing what people are wanting. But you can't do that
Mhm.
until you build the community. So for me, it's coming back to like, let's start talking and let's
Right,
start seeing who latches on to
right.
this, and then put out what I'll put out, and then listen for requests. And maybe there's experiences that they want because they got a taste here or something. So
Yeah,
I don't know what that is for me. I think I need to do a little bit of communicating with people before figuring
yeah.
that out.
So to the viewers out there, if you're still watching, if you're curious about NFTs, if you're an artist, Cheryl and I are going to be on a panel. In fact, I'm moderating a panel about NFTs at the upcoming CD Baby DIY Musician Conference, which is taking place in Austin, Texas, August 26th to 28th of this year. I think there's also a virtual component, so you can, if you love this, watching us on video, you can watch us on video, but you can meet us in person. We also have another independent artist, Jake Gill, who's doing some really interesting things. We have Jessica Sobraj, who's with Cosign. She's going to talk about kind of the copyright intellectual property piece of NFTs. So I think it'll be a very interesting panel. And we hope that if you're interested, if you're going to be there, it's a great conference. It's not all about NFTs. It's great for independent artists.
Oh yeah.
Lots to learn, lots to network.
Yeah, I love the CD Baby conference. Is my favorite one. I'm also giving a, a separate talk, totally separate, on just a really cool framework for any music career, no matter where you are in that career, to really help you get clarity. So that's another sort of keynote talk that I'm giving. But do you want me to give them the link?
I have a feeling I won't be able to stop you.
inthekey.co/cdbaby. Get your tickets now. It's like stupid crazy affordable. Like I don't even know how they make money, but inthekey.co
inthekey.co/CD Baby.
CD Baby. Yeah.
That's where you
So
can get the ticket to the CD Baby conference,
yeah.
courtesy of Cheryl B. Engelhardt.
Yeah. It's really the ticket to get you to meet Tony and me in person. Like let's just frame it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's worth a lot of money. And I don't know how much the conference actually is, but it's pretty cheap.
Not expensive at all. I don't
Yeah.
remember either, but it's like, yeah, not a lot.
All right, Cheryl, great to connect.
I could probably pay for someone's ticket with my NFT money.
There we go.
Yeah.
All
Cool.
right.
For now.
Well, I will see you in Austin and NFT you later.
NFT you later. Thanks, everybody.